to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We're talking about players linked to the football club in what has turned out to be a really busy summer transfer window, certainly for speculation. We've already got two in through the door. We've got a young player for the development squad, and we've also got a superstar coming in for the first team in Sandro Tonoli. So there's loads of the players being linked, and I think there's definitely going to be another 3 or 4 starters or squad players in terms of the main 25-man squad that are going to be arriving through the gates of St James's Park in the next few weeks. So let's have a look at some of their options now. So we're looking at defensive options, which is definitely something I think we're adding more for squad depth on this one as opposed to replacing a starting 11 player. But this lad looks a hell of a player, so I'm going to get stuck into this in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't checked us out before, welcome on board. Smash that subscribe button, come and join us when they're liking the content, help the video get on YouTube. You won't regret it. Loads of quality stats and chats in terms of transfer targets, and also the odd rant now and again for something that just pisses me off, which seems to be quite a lot in football these days. But anyway, it's not Newcastle United, that's for damn sure. That's very exciting times. So let's talk about the player that I'm going to speak about today. It's this lad right here that is Dávid Hancko, I believe they pronounce it, from Feyenoord. So obviously been fantastic for Feyenoord with the successes that they've had in Eredivisie. So the story goes is that this is the Daily Mail that Newcastle are considering a move for David as backup or squad depth. He's a left-sided player, so he can play centre-half, he can play left-back, he can play right across the back line, really. He's predominantly left-footed, but we have put him next to Fabi Schär there. Maybe we should have put him next to Botman, but you know, I think Botman's very much a start and play in that back four alongside Trippier. I think the centre-half position, as great as Fabi Schär has been, if we were to get somebody who's possibly got better attributes, Fabi could be displaced, and certainly in left-back, I think sadly Dan Burn could also be displaced, but I think Botman and Trippier, when fit, will probably play the biggest and the best games, really, that there is to offer. So I'll get stuck into the stats here kind of individually and look at the 90-minute ones in a minute, but just a little brief oversight on this lad. So he's a big, tall lad. He's strong as an ox. He seems to have this ability to win in the last-ditch tackles with his big, long, gangly legs. He's on his arse quite a lot, but he wins so many tackles. You know, tackles he's probably got no right in making, really. He's quite nifty with his feet as well. He's quick. He's got a good turn of pace, decent with the ball at his foot, can find a pass, great in the air. You know, and gets involved in the attacking threat as well. As you can see there, he's got 4 goals and 5 assists in the Eredivisie last season in 44 appearances. So he is a very talented footballer, 25 years old. He's obviously got the age on his side next to Fabi Schär there. So yeah, this could be a really exciting one if it comes off as well. But looking at the individuals, so 2.33 tackles per 90 minutes is what David does versus Fabian Schär 132. His interceptions, he's 102, so he's similar to Fabian Schär in that regard. Blocks as well, pretty much identical on that one. Clearances, more or less the same. Aerials 1. Fabian Schär does win a lot more headers than Dávid Hancko does, which is interesting for such a big, strong lad that he is. The true tackles one, you can see there that Hancko is ahead of Schär on 64% versus 51. Passes 74 a game for Hancko and 51 for Schär, so he passes the ball a hell of a lot, to be fair to him. And 87% pass completion versus Schär 77, so it's a fantastic stat that for a ball-playing centre-half as well, who's also strong as an ox and great at tackles as well. His progressive passes are 7.44, so he loves to play the ball forward, doesn't foul a lot of people, and recovers extremely well. But looking at his individuals, the red, amber, greens, which I know you all like to see, there's a hell of a lot of greens in this one. Now, I know it's the Eredivisie, but to be fair, you know, this is phenomenal stats for this lad. So his tackles, as I said there, he has this ability to have this long, gangly leg tackle, almost Patrick Vieira-esque. And to be fair, Wan-Bissaka is similar as well. He does that very well. He's always done that. Seems to make a tackle that he's got no right to make. You know, he's obviously having a bit of an up-and-down time at Manchester United, but he's a very good tackler. And Dávid Hancko very much is in that category as well. 96th percentile for tackles versus the other centre-halves in his position in the top 5 European leagues. That's some competition. And to be in the 96th percentile is amazing. Tackles 196 as well. Tackles in the defensive thirds in the 93s. Midfield is in 96th. Dribble has tackled 99th percentile. If you watch his highlight reel, he's phenomenal at letting the winger get down the line, and he just seems to come out of nowhere and win the ball. And when the winger does a trick and thinks he beats him, this big gangly leg comes out and he wins the ball. So it's a really talented thing to have as a defender. And Dávid Hancko certainly has it locked in. Interceptions, he's not as good. Maybe his legs are sharing Botman, but he could work on that in his game. I think Eddie Howe could improve any player, and I think this is something Eddie Howe can improve. Them blocks and clearances are a bit low, but passing, you can see there, his passing He's up in the 97th percentile. Pass completions in the 79. His medium passing is right up in the 90s. Progressive is 99. Key passing is 96. You know, his progressive carries is 98th percentile. So he'll get the ball and get you up the park a bit like a Joe Willock does, but from centre half, a bit like Shaw likes to do. So, you know, he could even fill in his cover for Shaw and alongside Botman, and maybe Eddie will play two left-sided centre halves if they're both as good as these two could be in terms of Botman and Hancko. But you can see there's very little stat to worry about, really. The aerial's one possibly for a big lad, doesn't win a lot of headers, you know, versus the other two centre halves that we have to start in our team, and Burnley want to throw him in there as well. But the other parts of his game, he's absolutely phenomenal at, to be fair. Gives very little fouls away, and his recoveries are second to none. Now, his market value, I think, just looking at the figure from Transfermarkt, I think it's 25 million euro. So if you want to call that 23 million quid or something, that's not bad business in this current day and age. And I think one thing the Newcastle United do very well is negotiate very well. So don't have the pants pulled down by anybody. And I think they'll do the same thing with Dávid Hancko here as well. If Feyenoord try and whack the price up, same as Palace on Anderson, if they do that, they'll move on to the targets because it's clear we've got a huge list of transfer targets. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you like Dávid Hancko at the club? Do you think he'd be a good signing as a backup, or would you put him in ahead of Fabi Schär? We always like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. You always take the time to do it. We appreciate it. We always try our best to reply to them as and when we can. We're not the kind of channel that ignores people. So keep doing it, keep commenting, and we'll do our best to let you know what we think about that comment as well. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And if you like the video, help get it around YouTube. Hit the notification bell. You won't miss any more of these transfer videos because we're going to be doing a hell of a lot of them over the summer, I guarantee you. And then we'll be back soon with some more transfer banner. Let's keep supporting that team, McCoy United, and we'll catch you later, everybody. Bye-bye.